Hi, I'm Martha Swells and I'm a chef. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pork escalope. Now, in essence, this is just a flattened piece of pork that's been breadcrumbed and pan fried. So the first thing to do is to get my pork ready. I'm going to be using a pork loin. What I want is just the eye of the pork loin. I'm going to take off the fat and these other small bits of pork at the side. Now, don't throw them away, keep them. You could use them for a stock or you could feed them to your dog, but don't waste them. The reason I'm taking the fat off the pork is because when we go to flatten it out, if we leave that sinew on, it's going to stop the meat from being able to spread out when we hit it. Right, so I'm going to flatten the pork out between two layers of cling film. So just get your roll, open it out across your surface, place your pork in the middle and fold your cling film back over. Now make sure that you leave a good amount of space between the top of the piece of pork and the edge of the cling film so that as it spreads out there's room for it all around. So give the pork a good whack. Don't hit it too hard though, because you might split off bits of the meat and then you'll end up with pieces that will fall off later. So you're looking to get it about 1/2 centimetre thickness. The whole point of an escalope is it is quite thin, but also it means the meat will cook before the breadcrumbs have a chance to burn. So I'm going to open my cling film out now, and there you go, that's ready to go. I'm going to chop up some sage leaves. Sage traditionally goes very well with pork and it just adds a little bit of extra flavour. I'm just going to slice across the leaves and then chop them up until they're really fine. So I'm going to get my pieces of pork on the board and I'm going to put plenty of pepper onto them and then salt as well. Be generous with the seasoning. And I'm also going to get the sage leaves and put half on this side and press that into the meat so it sticks. And we're going to turn it over and season again and also put the sage on this side as well. Again, pressing it down so that all of that seasoning and sage is really well stuck to the meat. So the next stage is to put the breadcrumb mixture onto the pork. So the order that you do it in is flour first, then egg, then breadcrumb. The flour will stick to the meat and help the egg stick to the flour, and then the breadcrumbs will stick to the egg. In terms of quantities, you just need enough to coat the amount of meat that you want to cook. In the meantime, before we start coating our meat, we're just going to put some oil in the pan because we want it to get hot whilst we're doing this. You want enough oil in the pan just to have a thin layer across the whole bottom. Now, in terms of the heat that you're looking for in the pan, you don't want it too cold because when the meat goes in, the breadcrumbs will soak up a lot of the oil and be very greasy. But you also have to be careful not to have it too hot because otherwise the breadcrumbs will burn very quickly. So you're looking at a nice sizzle, but not smoking temperature. So first I'm going to put the meat into the flour, make sure that's well coated, then into the egg, and finally into the breadcrumbs. Really pressing those breadcrumbs on because you really want them to stick. So make sure you get the breadcrumbs on top of the meat and really press that in. So I'm going to put a pinch of the breadcrumbs into the oil, and what you're looking for is for them to sizzle and start bubbling. Okay, so we're just going to pop the pork into the pan now. We want to cook it for a couple of minutes until the breadcrumbs are starting to go golden, and then we're going to turn it over. The whole thing should take no more than about 1 or 2 minutes either side. Obviously, depending on the thickness of your piece of meat, 3 to 4 minutes should be long enough. I'm now going to take that out and pop it onto some kitchen towel just to drain off any excess oil. So I'm just going to take the pork onto a board and cut it at an angle just so we can see the pork inside and how it's cooked. As you can see there, it's still juicy but is cooked through. So that's ready to serve. So you could serve that up with a lovely creamy sauce, maybe some rocket and tomatoes, whatever takes your fancy. But there you go, that's how to make a pork escalope.